Michael Saylor finally wants to sell his Bitcoin. Okay. So they're weighing whether or not they want to sell Bitcoin. And the reason this is such a big deal is because, well, I'll just show you the tweet
Yeah.
from the 2nd of February, 2025. Michael Saylor saying, never sell your Bitcoin. And the entire thesis of the company really being buy and never sell Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And now it's buy more Bitcoin than you sell.
You sell. You think he's trolling a bit there?
For sure. I mean, that's hilarious.
Yeah. That's pretty good, man. But it is. What is your thoughts and opinions on strategy at large?
I mean, I just personally have never touched it with a 10-foot pole. I don't recommend people to touch it with a 10-foot pole unless it gets overly sold off. But otherwise, I wouldn't touch it.
I heard it's one of the most shorted positions right now.
That's interesting.
So, but fact check that, please, everybody.
I mean,
But
I mean, there's a ton of like passionate people on either side of the equation. So I wouldn't be
yes.
surprised by that.
And what do you think is like? I guess he's walked through and explained why he gets people into it a lot. So that's not really worth talking about. But yeah, it's a fascinating thing. And how much of the total supply does strategy now hold? Isn't it something like 4%?
I think that's the number. I think it's something like that. Yep.
Which is truly insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have 815,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So
And how are you now, Scott? Like, right, between strategy and BlackRock, haven't they basically centralized Bitcoin in many ways, man? That's Jeff Booth's coming back on the show. Like, that's a question we should totally ask.
Yes. Yep.
So how are you now? I will copy and paste this and ask the exact question. And also, guys, if you have any specific questions that you want us to ask Jeff, what's the best way we can get that, Keith?
Leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment because we're having him back on pretty soon, and we want to make that episode as good as we can. So
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this whole concept of like buying leveraged Bitcoin, it's in my eyes, it's kind of just completely antithetical to the whole concept. Like Bitcoin is leveraged. Like it is the thing. You don't need to add leverage to your Bitcoin. Just own Bitcoin. The point here isn't to try to get mega ultra super hyper rich. The point is to protect your purchasing power. You know what I mean? And so when you start getting kind of a little bit extra greedy on top of all of this, it's just like, brother, you're asking for something like that stock can go to zero.
mm-hmm.
What are the chances of Bitcoin going to zero? Relatively way lower.
So yeah, it's truly a fascinating thing, like how many people rather they've gotten involved with it. They also have a bunch of different products that appeal to different people for different reasons. So it's
certainly a financial innovation, right? That's what it is. It's a financial innovation, what they've done by creating yield products off of Bitcoin. It's just a matter of, is that why you own it?
mm-hmm.
Right? Is that why you play Bitcoin? It's not to get yield, right? For me, it's not. It's just to protect what's been built. It's to have an actual battery, an actual storage mechanism for the energy that you've put out into the world, the way that money's supposed to be. So I'm not buying hyper leveraged gold ETF if I want to hold gold. I'm going to buy the physical bar and put it away and never talk about it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think understanding why you're doing it or why you like the asset class in general, and then is how you're exposed to it. Does that align with the thesis that brought you there in the first place?
Which is something that's so rare to have to think about in this way. You know, like yes, you could compare it to gold, but it's just also so different in terms of like there's an entire technology behind this that you can use. Why wouldn't you use it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why are you buying MicroStrategy stock? Like, bro, use the technology that you have where you can send this Bitcoin if you wanted to as well. You can't send your MicroStrategy stock until they fully tokenize everything to somebody in another country in a click of a button.
So do you think that that's because they don't like really believe in the Bitcoin story? They just believe in enough people believing in it?
I think these are like I think of Preston Fish. Nothing against the guy. He's a genius. I think it's just like this intellectual thing. I really think that's all it is. Because the people, the characters that are so into it, they're these like nerds that are like super into like, oh, this guy is such a genius. This like ability to create yield off of Bitcoin. It's this financial engineering feat. And like it is. But like, why does that mean I have to own it? You know what I mean?
Got it. Yeah, I've never heard of Preston, so I'll have to look into
That's
that more.
awesome. Yeah,
He's good?
yeah, he's super smart. He's a super good guy. And I found him through the Investors Podcast Network.
Or maybe I have seen him as
You've
he
definitely
was on
seen.
the Jeff Booth podcast that I sent you, right? He was one of
Yes,
the
he
4
was.
people?
He was on that. That's
Yeah,
correct. Yep.
okay.
So yeah, super duper smart guy.
So, yeah, we also didn't really ask Jeff about Michael Saylor all that much.
True.
We totally should do that a lot more because that's gotta be one of the biggest topics of conversation.
100%. So yeah, so it's just all the lore around like the new products that they offered this year. I forgot what it was
Yes.
called, but like all that stuff is
And
funny
then
too.
Copies of Those covered it a fair amount and
Mhm.
said that he thinks it's like a big old Ponzi and everything like that, and
Yeah.
so
It's just massive risk for like it's not an operational I mean, there is an operational company, but it's just like it's not what it is anymore. And I just it's like you're buying a hedge fund essentially in a publicly traded market on an asset that hasn't even been around for more than 20 years or basically only 20 years. And that's built upon such a rhetoric. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of storytelling that has to be done for Bitcoin to continue to exist in the way that it does. And if that story gets disrupted, you can see massive fluctuations in the price of this thing that could lead to you having something once again that goes to zero
Mhm.
just to watch the price of Bitcoin soar immediately afterward.
Yeah.
You could watch Michael Saylor go bankrupt and then watch Bitcoin go to $1 million.
What happens in that scenario where all like, where does all the Bitcoin go?
It'd be in the hands of whoever gave him the loans.
Got it.
So typically, really, the banks more than anything.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's inevitably what's going to happen here. Is you're going to get all the banks involved. They're going to give a bunch of loans out to people with Bitcoin up as collateral. You're going to have a flash crash event. Everyone loses their Bitcoin, and the banks have it all. Like
Mhm.
I don't see any other path, honestly.
Yeah. We yeah, that's definitely stuff that people I think should look into.
But yeah. Hey, you made it to the end of the clip. That means you're probably enjoying this. And if so, just know that you can catch us live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to see the full version of this episode, you can click the link in the description down below. Otherwise, YouTube thinks that you will enjoy this next.